Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. Shibi. Today we're going to continue on, and it's our last topic before our quiz, which is Friday, on adding and subtracting polynomials. Now remember, we talked about multiplying and dividing with exponents earlier, and when you multiply, you actually add, man. When you divide, what? You actually subtract. Whoa, far out. All right, so today we're going to basically just do normal adding and subtracting. I think you'll realize pretty fast it's not too bad. The only things you got to watch out for are subtractions. That's the one that will get you and you and you, maybe not you, but the one sitting behind you and across from you. You know what I mean? Okay, so let's get cracking. Vocabulary. I'm not going to focus too much on this because we got a lot of stuff to kill. But first thing, the degree of a polynomial. So here's the deal. If you have an x squared, the degree means the 2 to what degree, and it's squared. If I had x to the 5th, it would be to the 5th degree. All right? And if it was 32, this would be 32 degrees. Okay, sorry guys. All right, that was a really bad joke. All right. Speaking of which, I think 98 Degrees, the lead singer, just celebrated his like 44th birthday. He's just getting to be an old guy. So you guys even know who I'm talking about. Nick Lachey. That's the guy. Coefficients. We talked about this yesterday, and coefficients would be the number that is in front of a variable. So that's going to be the 2 is going to be the coefficient. Right? We talked about that the other day. All right, monomial. Mono means you're sick. You can't see anybody. You can't kiss anybody. No more kissing. No more vertical angles for you, sir. No more vertical angles. You've got mono. No. Mono means monomial. Monomial means single, one. All right. If you've got a stereo surround sound system that you're listening to right now, you're hearing through this ear and this ear. But if you have mono, and you can actually look at the plug, it's only got one wrap around it. If it's got two wraps, it's stereo. It's only got one wrap around the plug that you insert into the computer. That's a mono. And mono means you only get it through one source. All right, so monomial means one, and so a little illustration of what a monomial would actually be this guy right up here. He's a one-trick pony. This guy's also a monomial. This guy's also a monomial. This guy right here, he's freezing. Okay, because 32 degrees. Never mind. Binomial means there's two terms. All right, so get this. We're going to have like 5x plus 1. There's two terms. You count them out. 1, 2. That means bicycle has two wheels, correct? Two wheels, a bicycle. All right, another version of this would be like x squared minus x. How many terms do I have? Uno, dos, bi. 2. Next, trinomial. Guess what this one's going to be, guys? Can you write down an example all by your lonesome selves? This would be like an x squared plus 3x plus 1. Wow, now if you randomly put down that exact one, 10,000 Shibi points to you, sir. Or ma'am. But we all know guys are just better guessers. Kidding. All right, so that's a 1, 2, and 3 term dealio. And those are ones you'll have to factor. But we'll talk about that in 3 weeks. Polynomial. Poly. Polly Pocket. Polygon. There's some Pokemon named Poly something or other. Can't remember his name though. Somebody shout it out real loud. Just shout it out. And somebody who's not even with us yet, they're going to be like, what is going on? Just shout it out. Okay, thank you. Poly means many. And so basically, as long as you don't have a 1, mono means 1, as long as you have more than 1. So a binomial is technically a polynomial. A trinomial is also technically a polynomial because there's more than 1. It's kind of like I'm an uncle and I'm a dad. Wait, how can I have 2 names? Well, I can, all right? I just can because I'm cool. Cool like that. Also, Sensei Shivi. What? Whoa, mind blown. Sensei, oh, I thought you were dad. Not to you. Not to you. I'm not your dad. Okay, next. All right, so here's where it goes. And we should know from early days, and I'm going to switch to my kid. Early days, I've got combining like terms. When you add, you can only combine the ones that are the same. So I'm looking for the sames with the same degree, the numbers with the same degree, sorry. So you see this x squared and x squared. So 6x squared plus, notice I'm adding, a negative 4x squared. And you should say 6 plus a negative 4 is 2x squared. Right? Those guys are done. And I continue going forward. Now I can do my normal x's. And I have 9x's over there, negative 7x's over there. So how many regular x's would I have? And I would have, I believe, 2 x's, positive 2 x's. And you might say, how do I know how to put a plus? Well, negative 7 plus 9 is positive 2, so I'm writing a positive 2x. All right, you guys good so far? All right, now I'm going to cancel those out because those are all done. Finally, I go with 8 plus negative 5, and that should be a positive 3. All right, now can I combine any of these here? I know what you're saying. Well, you're boxing it, so that's not, I can't do anything more. Exactly right. Yes, I know. Somebody like Braden Dodd is going to. All right, there we go. All right. There, now you happy? That's a plus. Okay. There we go. And I can't combine anymore. They're not like terms. It's that easy, guys. All right, I'm going to have you try this one. Pause the video, and I'll write down the answer here. So pause it now. I said pause it. Okay, back. All right. So I have got the answer here. Hopefully you guys got it too as well. It should be 3x squared minus x minus 5. And notice this one can't combine with anything. This one can't combine with anything. So the only thing I can combine is really the negative 6 and the positive 1. Negative 6 and positive 1 is negative 5. So, all right, anyways. Okay, capiche, moving on. All right. This is called function notation. I have no idea if you've seen this already. I'm assuming since you took algebra and are here now in geometry, you have seen function notation. But we read here, and we read this as f of x, and this is called g of x. We had that little of statement in between. I've only got 6 minutes. I got to get cruising. Well, here it says, take your f of x and add it with g of x. So really what I'm doing is I'm taking 3x minus 4, and you might say, how did I get that? Well, because 3x minus 4 is f of x, right? F of x is 3x minus 4. And then I'm supposed to add it to g of x. So I'm going to add it to my g of x. Now, where is g of x? Well, that's x minus 2. All right, so I've got a couple binomials, right? Two binomials. All right. Combine like terms, 3x and x. That is 4 x's, young sir. I can't put an x through an x, can I? How about that? Okay. Then I have minus 4 plus a negative 2. And I'm going to say that is a negative 6. Would you guys agree? Negative 4 plus negative 2 is 6. Done as dinner, easy as pie. Now, I know this next one says you try, but by you try, it means I'm going to do it and you follow along, all right? So now this time it says take my g of t and add it with my h of t. So I'm going to start off with my g of t, which is 3t plus 5. All right, so I'm going to take that one and I'm going to add it to my h of t, which is t cubed minus 4t. Sorry, I'm working on it, guys. I'm getting a little better, but it's not perfect yet. All right, 4t. I know. All right, there we go. So combine the ones that are like 3t and nope, those aren't alike. Is there another t to the third power? I don't see one. I'm going to put t to the third power first because we always like the highest degree first. And that's done. There's nothing that combines with that. Then this 3t over here combines with the negative 4t there. Those are both like terms. And 3 and a negative 4 gives me a negative t. All right. Right? 3 minus 4 is a negative 1t. I'm not going to put the negative 1. Those are done. Then I'm just left with this 5. Well, that's a positive 5, so I'm going to plus that 5. Boom, shakalaka. 3 minutes to do the hardest thing. We got this, Guam. We got it. All right. You guys okay with that? Moving on. Next, here's the hardest thing. Subtraction. So we still treat it as subtraction, but you've got to realize, you have to realize that this negative goes to everything. It's like distributive property, if you will. Let me change the color here. I want some color. Green. Okay, it's like basically like distributive property. That negative goes there, the negative goes there, the negative goes there. In fact, some people like to hand that negative out first and then combine like terms. We'll do it without though first. First off, I'm going to do 4x squared and combine that with the other thing that's like over here. 4x squared minus 2x, right? Because I'm minusing this time, right? 4x squared minus 2x should be 2x squared. All right. Then I have a negative 5x and a 3x. But remember, I am subtracting the two. So negative 5 minus 3. Negative 5 minus 3 is actually a negative 8x. And then 6 minus a negative 1. Now here's where it gets ugly. I've got 6 minus that negative 1, right? Uh-oh, what is that? Double negatives. It's actually like a positive, correct? Double negatives. So that's actually like a plus 7. That makes sense? All right, so some people are fine doing it that way. So you've got to subtract all the way down. All right, now let's do it the other way. Let's actually distribute that negative out to everything, and then it turns to an addition problem. So now I've got like a negative x squared. Sorry, I'm going to write with my pen. Sometimes it's just the pen works better and sometimes not. 3x plus 4. I'm going to run out of time. I'm not going to finish this. And then, instead of subtracting, I'm going to distribute that negative to everything. So now that's actually a negative x squared. That's actually now a negative 2x. And that's actually a negative 5. All right. So what I want you to do here is I want you to finish this problem. Now I just took a subtraction problem and turned it into an addition problem. I turned everything after that negative to be a positive. All right, opposite. I want you to do your homework, work through this problem, and ask questions.